engage in conversations that endeavor to enhance our financial literacy. In case you are coming across this page for the first time, consider subscribing. Turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we get to post a new financial tip. Now, we are ending the month of September, and the Central Bank of Kenya has already floated 2 treasury bonds that will be on offer for the month of October 2025. And that is why our conversation this evening will purely be on treasury bonds. I know that is the language that the streets are understanding in terms of passive income right now. So the conversation will purely be about treasury bonds. And this time we will not be analyzing treasury bonds. I have already done a video on that, analyzing the 2 treasury bonds that are on offer. And on this particular session, what we are going to do is try to understand who is the best person who is fit to invest in treasury bonds. We can be true to each other and agree that there is no investment that is a fitting shoe to everyone. There is no investment that fits everyone. So as much as we try to praise treasury bonds, the way they are safe, the way they are, whatever we try to talk about treasury bonds, it is not a best fit for everyone. That is something we have to agree. Treasury bonds are not a fit for everyone. And that is why in this particular session, I'm giving 7 groups of people who should invest in treasury bonds, or 7 groups of people who are the best fit to invest in treasury bonds. So in case you are not sure whether you should invest in treasury bonds, or in case you are not sure whether you are ready to invest in treasury bonds, these are some of the characteristics that you can check on yourself and get to understand whether you are ready to invest in treasury bonds or not. Before we do that, in case you are coming across this channel for the first time, consider subscribing, comment, give us feedback so that we can get to learn from each other. Now, let's move on to the first group of people who should consider investing in treasury bonds. The first group of people is those people who are looking for long-term investment. We know that investments are divided into different categories in terms of time horizons. We have investments that are short-term, others that are medium-term, and others that are long-term. Now, it is important to note, before you get to dive into treasury bonds, it is important to note that they fall under the category of long-term investment. So, treasury bonds are best fit for someone looking for a long-term investment. So we are talking about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So that is the kind of horizon we are talking about in treasury bonds. So if you are looking for a long-time horizon investment, then treasury bonds is a good choice for you. So it is not everyone who should invest in treasury bonds. So characteristic number 1, if you are seeking to invest in treasury bond, ensure that you are seeking for a long-term investment. So if you are out here seeking for a long-term investment, you can tick the first box that you qualify to invest in treasury bonds. Now, point number 2, people who are looking for fixed income. You see, we all have different wants, or I don't want to say desires, but let's just use we like things done in a given way. There's someone who would not prefer something that is sure in the future, even if it is literal, it is sure. They want to go by the wave. If the interest rates goes up, you get a better return. If the interest rates go down, you get a lower return. Now, if you want a fixed income, you see, there's a point that gets to your life that you need some sort of fixed income. That is the kind of income that you get from treasury bonds. Now, because the coupon is determined at the point where the bond is issued, and the coupon is fixed for the entire period of the bond. So you have a fixed income. Huh? You are sure, you 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 are very sure, on this date this is the amount that I expect to receive. On this other date, this is the amount that I expect to receive. So if you are out here looking for a fixed kind of income, then treasury bonds are a good fit for you. So that is characteristic number 2 of people who should invest in treasury bonds. Number 1, we said about people looking for a long-term investment, and number 2, we have said about people who want a fixed income. Let's go to point number 3, and just a moment. Now, the third category of people who should consider investing in treasury bonds, the third categories of people who should invest in treasury bonds are people who are risk averse. Now, there are people who don't want that that pressure that comes with changing events, changing interest rates, changing share prices. There are people who don't that kind of an investment. There are people who don't want risk. You see, some of these investment that we get to dive in, a good example is shares. Shares is kind of a risky investment. So there's someone who don't want that uncertainty. They just want a low risk investment. Then treasury bonds is their thing because they are backed up by the government, and by the time we get to a place where the government is unable to pay their debts, we will be in a very, very bad state of affairs. So if you are risk averse, like you don't want risk, you want a low risk, a low return investment, then treasury bonds are for you. The fourth category of people who might be favored in a way by treasury bonds are retirees or near retirees. That is people who have already retired and people who are almost retiring. Now, why would it be a good fit for a retiree to invest in treasury bonds? Now, let's assume someone was employed and they have they had some pension plan. So they get their pension payment, the lump sum payments. You see, the way pension operates is that you first get a lump sum once you get to retire, then you'll get some monthly installments. Now, how you deal with this pension lump sum that you get might determine how you live the rest part of your life. But one of the mistakes that an old person might find themselves in is trying to try a business that you have never done at your 70, at your 60, trying a new venture that you have never tried. Like you have never tried this thing for the 60 years that you have been in existence, but you want to try it when you are old. Like you should be aware that if you mess with that chance, you have no chance of correcting your mistakes. So whatever you do with that money should be something that has relatively low risk. It wouldn't be so wise to start a business with your pension money. For the time you have been working at some point of your time, when you are young, it would be a bit wiser to try business so that even if that business fail, you have another opportunity to rise again. But going to try a business with your pension payment, it's more risky. If you get to lose it, it is over for you. So when it comes to retirees, treasury bonds is something that they should consider because at that age, you want some fixed income. Like you are sure This month I get this amount, the other month I get this amount, the other month I get this amount. So treasury bonds is a better option for it, for someone who is retiring or someone who has already retired. For that time, for that phase of your life, you will not be chasing returns, but you'll be chasing safety. You had all the time to chase to chase returns. You tried all the things you could do, but now at retirement, it is not the best time to chase returns. So what you need at that time is safety. Take that pension amount, either do a bond. You can do several bonds through the concept of bond rendering, and you'll be getting some fixed income, maybe even if not every month, after 1 or 2 months. So it is a better option for people who have retired or people who are retiring. You might take that pension money and decide to buy a plot. Of course, it is a good thing buying a plot, but what if you buy that plot, then after some time you hear there are some court cases, sijui your plot has done what, sijui where you purchased the plot, you did not do proper due diligence, so that plot belongs to someone else, and now you start the process of court cases. You appear in court, you are in your 70s, and the judge says that this case will be heard next, sijui 2 years to come. So it is better to avoid such things at that particular age. So at that phase of your life, what you will need most is fixed return or certainty rather than safety. So treasury bond is something that those people who have retired or those people who are near retirement should consider. The other thing, group number 5 of people who should consider investing in treasury bonds is someone who has already set aside their emergency fund. This is the thing. There is no liquidity in treasury bonds. If you invest your money today and you get an emergency tomorrow, it might not be easy to get that money. I'm not saying that you cannot get it, because nothing is cast on stone. You have sorry for that. You have the option of selling the bond in the secondary market or discounting at the Central Bank of Kenya, but again, that might come at a cost. So it is very important to note that there is no liquidity in treasury bonds. So before you dive into treasury bonds, ensure that you are diving in there with money that you might not need anytime soon. There is no liquidity in treasury bonds. So treasury bonds is a better fit for people who have already established an emergency fund. Let treasury bonds not be your first investment. That you get to invest in treasury bonds, and that is all the money that you had. In case you get an emergency, you will not be able to cater for it. So first have an emergency fund, and if you already have an emergency fund, then you can consider doing treasury bonds. Another category of people who might be good doing treasury bonds, it's that chama of viewers. I know that chama of viewers, you have been contributing and you have been having a business idea. But it is unfortunate that you have been discussing that business idea for the last 3 years, for the last 2 years. And the reason as to why it is taking too long for you guys to discuss that business idea or agree on something that you can do in common, it is because the ideas that Kamau brings, Mwangi does not agree with it. And the one that Mwangi brings, John does not agree with it. You might find yourselves in a chama that is meant maybe for investment purposes, but you get to realize maybe you met in different social circles or in a different social setup and decided to do this. But you get to realize that you have different risk appetites. Now, it is very hard for people with different risk appetites to work together or to agree on a common thing. But one of the things that you can all agree is an investment that ha- that has a low risk, because it would be okay with everyone, even those with the lowest level of risk. So chamas can consider investing in treasury bonds because it is a low risk investment. So I expect even the members who are risk averse, they will agree into the idea, because I might be in a certain business, I bring that idea to the chama and someone else is not comfortable. So you might have a long back and forward trying to agree on some ideas that you can work on, but you end up wasting a lot of time. So as you have that back and forward with your chama members, one of the things that you can consider investing in is government securities. Let's not even say the treasury bonds. Let's talk about government securities in general. You can do a treasury bill for 6 months. Maybe after that 6 months, you'll have agreed. So your money won't be idle, and if you need it after some few months, you still get access to the money and establish your idea. The last group of people who are best fit for treasury bonds is someone who is looking for diversification. Treasury bonds might not be your first investment. So it is good for someone who is looking to diversify. Someone has invested in shares, someone have invested in real estate, especially those investments that are kinda high risk. So treasury bonds are a good deal to add to your portfolio so that they can bring the low risk element in your portfolio. It is good to understand and agree that even if you are a risk seeker, someone who loves risk, not all your money should be out there chasing for higher returns and higher risk. There is that part of your money that should be in a low risk, low return investment. So if you have already invested in other areas, especially areas that have a high element of risk, it would be better to add, it will be recommended to add treasury bonds in your portfolio so that they can bring that aspect of low risk, or that balancing effect into your portfolio. So that is another category of people who should consider investing in treasury bonds. So that is my take as far as investment in treasury bonds is concerned. It is not an investment for everyone. There are some groups of people, there are some people who are better fit to invest in treasury bonds than others. And before I end the session, let me just read out my points again. Like, these are people who should consider investing in treasury bonds. Number one is someone who is looking for a long-term investment. Number two, people who want fixed income. Number three, risk-averse investors. Number four, retirees or near retirees. Number five, people with emergency funds. Number five, groups of people or chamas. And number seven, people looking for diversification. So if you feel that you fit that profile, then it might be high time that you get to consider investing in treasury bond and get to to enjoy the benefits. But I will always insist, before you dive into any kind of investment, learn, learn, and learn. Don't sign up for something that you don't understand. We are in 2025. Information is available everywhere, especially in the social media. So don't be ignorant. Before you get to put your hard-earned money in any investment, ensure that you fully understand what you are signing up for. It is not bad investing in a high risk avenue, but make sure that you understand the risk, and it is risk that you can accommodate. So it's my urge that before you get to invest in anything, regardless of how sweet people talk about it, ensure that you fully understand. If you want to learn more about treasury bonds, just check on this same channel. I have a whole playlist on videos on treasury bonds. Learn about bonds, understand them before signing up for anything. So in case you are coming across this channel for the first time, ensure that you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime we get to post a new financial tip, which we do on a daily basis. In case this is your kind of tea, keep on checking on this channel. If you found this information helpful, share this video to someone whom you think they need this kind of information, so that you can get this information to as many people as possible. For now, I quit. My name is Goge Andrew. This is Finance Focus with Andrew. Until next time, stay financially woke.